how do you feel about your preseason training and coming into the new season?
I'm very much looking forward to the start of the new season, even though we haven't stepped officially into 2014. We consider this tournament as a start of a new tennis season, and I did finish my 2013 season quite late, but in a very successful way, and I just hope that I can build on that and continue the streak and run that I had for the last 2 months in the opening weeks of the year. And my first tournament is going to be here. The first official one is going to be in Melbourne. I'm not going to play any opening weeks of the season because I feel like I didn't have enough time to get myself in the right shape for competition mode, and that's why I've selected to play only these few matches here and then move on to Melbourne.
So for any particular reason you opted for Becker, or can you just elaborate a bit why?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Any particular reason why you opted to for a coach like Becker?
Yeah, well, there had to be a reason.
More than one, hopefully.
First of all, he speaks very good German. I haven't spoken German in many years, so I'm going to refresh my knowledge of German. Second of all, of course, he's a 6-time Grand Slam champion. He won so many trophies in his life. He was former #1. And speaking to Marian in last few months of the year, we both came to the conclusion that I'm going to need another, I would say, a legendary player that can eventually help me understand better what I need to do in a particular situation, especially in the Grand Slam final stages, and to give me that mental edge, of understanding. He can identify himself in me because he was in those particular situations, so he knows what I go through, and that is one of the biggest reasons that he's on board. And of course, Boris Becker is one of the best players in the history of the game. He had a great serve, one of the best serves, and he can help me in different parts of my game on court as well, including the mental aspect. So, in the end of the day, I think the combination between Boris and Marian, that is still on board, that is still part of our team, will be, I hope, the winning combination for me, and that I will manage to get better and improve my game and this mental strength in the most important tournaments, most important moments of the match.
Novak, how small is the difference between the year that you had in 2011, for example, when you won 3 slams, and the year you had this year, where you had 1 slam and you got right to the end of 3 others? How small is that difference ultimately, and how much is it frustrating in the end?
Well, I think you touched the point. The Grand Slams those are the most prestigious or most valuable tournaments that we have in our sport, and those are the tournaments where I want to win, where I want to play my best, and this is obviously one of the reasons that Boris is on board. He has won 6 of those Grand Slams, and as I said before, he knows how it feels to be facing the adversary, the pressure and expectations of playing on a big tournament as one of the favorites. So that will be my primary goal, I would say, a priority or focus or ambition, or whatever you want to call it, is to perform my best in Grand Slams and to try to win trophies.
Last year you realized you were going to the net more.
I'll go after you.
Going to the net more and more, so is that something?
That's why Boris accepted to work with me. He saw my improvement on the net.
Is that something you want to particularly work on with him?
Well, we talked about it, of course. I think we have the great understanding between us 3, I have to say, because Marian is also in the mix, and it's very important because Marian worked with me for last 8 years. I won the first and 41st tournament with Mario Vaida, and it's extremely important that he's part of all this, of course, discussions, conversations, and analyzing of what I need to do on the court in order to improve it and get at least 1 or 2, 5% better, as much as it is possible, of course. And I did work on my net game. I did work on approaching, using the opportunities that I built for myself with the ground strokes, with the baseline play, because I'm a baseline player. My game is based on from the back of the court, but I wanted to stay closer to the line and come to the net, and I was doing that really well, but that was all the result of the work that I've done with Marian, and I'm going to try to continue doing the same with Boris. Now, as we talk, we're not going to make any major changes, because I feel like I'm already a complete player. There's a few, I guess, details here and there which we can work on and which we can improve in order for me to get better. But generally, I'm not going to start serving and volleying, because I never done that. Of course, maybe I'm going to put mix here and there, but my game is more or less going to be the same, with a certain adjustments, with the positioning on the court, and that's more or less what we're going to do.
Novak, if I saw a BBC story where they talked to Boris, and you gave the impression that you called him the day after you had just beaten Rafael in the finals in Beijing. Does that sound right?
No.
I mean, I should say
yes.
the job was offered that
yes,
day.
Well,
the timing seemed a little odd.
The timing, exactly. The timing seemed a little bit odd. Well, we talked about it midway through the 2013 season. By saying we, I mean Marian and my team, about eventually getting another professional tennis coach and tennis help that can get my game to another level. And we thought about different names, but our criterion obviously was that certain player or certain person has to be someone who has been in the particular situations that I am right now. And Boris came out on top, and we contacted him during this Asian swing. It was not just after the final, it was actually during the tournament, but the timing was not intentional, of course. It just came as a result of discussions that we had over the course of a few months, and that's when we contacted him. And last 2 months we were meeting, discussing if we can work together, and to determine if we have things in common and things that we agree upon. And I have to say that the understanding has exceeded my expectations, between us. I mean, already at the start we have the right idea what we want to do, so that's very positive.
It would seem like personalities would be at least as much a part of it as the professional side, because you can't have two type A personalities working together in the same room and suck all the oxygen out of it.
Yeah, it's you have the point. Of course, but again, if you're working together towards a certain goal, of course, and that's why you meet before you agree to work and discuss all these things. You predict the different kind of scenarios that eventually can happen, and see if you have the right understanding, and then make a final decision. And aside the fact that he's very knowledgeable and experienced in this sport, he's also a great person. And as much as I could really see, not just in the last 2 months, but also in the last few years that I get to interact with him on the tournaments, and so forth. And we always had a great relation with each other. I of course respect everything he has achieved in his career, and he has been working the last few years with a lot of TVs on the Grand Slam, so we got to see each other there, and we always discuss about the game, and that's how it all turned out to be a nice relationship that can hopefully bring success to both of us.
about something like this? Did it affect your decision at all?
Look, you know, I think for Andy, Ivan Lendl did a great job, and obviously since Ivan came on board, he won 2 Grand Slams, he won Olympic gold medal, so definitely helped him in his game, and I'm sure he's going to say better how much it affected him, but from my point of view, it affected him in a very positive way, of course. But my decision to start working with Boris hasn't been inspired by the fact that Ivan is working with him.
How long have you been together now, like on court for like a week or something? Or how long?
We practiced a little bit in Spain for a few days, and he's going to come here today, so we're going to be, you're going to see him here. Yeah. Yes.
What's the initial impression of just how the personalities are together and kind of fun you're
Well,
having,
of course, he's a very strong personality. He's German, and he's very disciplined, and of course, but also he has this fun side of him. He's open-minded, and I grew up in Germany. I basically spent between age of 12 and 16 a lot of time in tennis academy, Niki Pilic, close to Munich. I had German in the school, so hopefully I can get my German to a better level with his presence. But I also, by saying that, I understand how the German mentality works, and I know it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of commitment, but also he has, as I said, this different side of him where he's very open-minded, he's a storyteller, so I'm sure it's going to be a very comfortable relationship for both of us.
Okay, a couple more questions.
This is something completely random, but I saw the picture of you guys today, all 6 players of Gaston Arena lining up as if it's a race.
Yes.
I was wondering, have you ever thought if you guys ran a 100-meter sprint against each other, who would win?
It's a good question because Andy asked everybody a question: who do you think is going to would win to the end of those lines that they placed on the track? And they were like, I think 18 or 12 meters, and he gave advantage to Tsonga, I gave advantage to Ferrer.
I think that's good.
We didn't try it, we might the next few days for fun.
One more question.
Boris is a very good poker player. Do you think Rafa's recent win over the #1 poker player had anything to do with your decision?
I do not play poker, so
You might be in the future.
I'm not a big fan of gambling and betting, but look, you know, I like to play cards for fun. So I'll see. Maybe I'll challenge Boris and see how it goes. But I'm sure he's afraid of sitting on the table with Rafa, since Rafa is now the reigning poker champion.
How many tournaments a year will Boris join your team?
Excuse me, sorry.
How many tournaments a year will Boris? Did you decide already?
We more or less know that well, he's going to be definitely for every Grand Slam, and that means 3 weeks per Grand Slam, 2 weeks of a Grand Slam, hopefully, and 1 week of preparation before. That's where we are planning, and he's going to travel in most of the Masters, 1,000 events around the world, like Monte Carlo, Miami, and so forth. And for the second part of the year, we're going to see how it all turns out to be in the first part of the year. But he's planning to spend more time with me than less time with me, because we both agree upon the fact that if he wants to help me and basically transfer his knowledge and will and experience and his own philosophy into me getting better on the court, then he has to do it properly, and by meaning properly, he has to spend more time with me on the court, on the tournaments, and trying to, you know, be face to face and share this kind of, you know, time.
Thank you.
Thank you.